Hi everybody, my name is Sam J. Gold. I'm a teaching artist with the New Victory Theater, and I recently adapted a play I wrote into a podcast. So today we are going to explore how to add sound effects to our audio narratives. One thing I learned while adapting my play into a podcast is that if you want to record sound for your audio stories, it's great to have a soundproof closet. But if you don't have one of those, your best bet is to build a blanket fort, just like this. So to start, let's build blanket forts. I'll show you what I mean. Come on. Welcome to my blanket fort. Now, if you were to ask an audio engineer why we record sound under blankets, they might tell you that it's because we want to separate our sound from our location. One of the amazing things about audio narratives is they can take place anywhere, and good sound effects will transport you and make you feel like you're in outer space, or at the beach, or in a swamp. But the one place we don't want to feel, usually, is that we're in our own apartment, and recording under blankets really helps the sound separate from our apartment. But I'll tell you my favorite part about being in a blanket fort. It is so cozy and safe. We're going to make a lot of silly sounds in a minute, and maybe you're an expert at silly sounds. Maybe you've got no problem making whatever sounds you want. But sometimes I can feel a little shy. And I'll tell you, when I'm under a blanket fort, I feel a lot more brave. So let's do a little vocal warm-up before we explore our sound effects. Repeat after me. Hum-ma. Hum-ma. Very good. Are you feeling warm? I'm feeling pretty warm. I'm going to take you out of the fort for 1 sec, and then we'll get going. Thanks for waiting outside the fort. While you were gone, I got our work order for this audio recording. I have a little short story here. I'm going to read it to you now, and let's see what sound effects we can identify in the story. The wind was loud and cold. Wind sound effect. I walked through the rain in search of my cat, Trixie, but all I heard were wet dogs caught in the storm. Suddenly, I heard her. Trixie! She was looking at me through the window of my own house. I ran back inside. I ran back inside my house and warmed myself by the fire, Trixie by my side. I heard wind, wet footsteps, sad dog, cat, dry footsteps when we go back inside, and a warm fire. 6 sound effects. Let's see if we can practice those together. Wind. Wet footsteps. Wet dog. Cat. Dry footsteps. Maybe they're a little fast because we're running back inside. And finally, a warm fire. Now that we have our story and our sound effects, there's all sorts of ways we can put this together. You could invite a friend into your sound fort, have them read the story, and you do the sound effects.
I walked through the rain in search of my cat, Trixie. But all I heard were wet dogs caught up in the storm.
Or, if you have a smartphone, you can record yourself making the sound effects and then play them back while you read your own story, becoming a one-person production. It goes a little something like this. The wind was loud and cold. I walked through the rain in search of my cat, Trixie. But all I heard were wet dogs caught in the storm. Suddenly, I heard her. Trixie! She was looking at me through the window of my own house. I ran back inside. I ran back inside my house and warmed myself by the fire. Trixie by my side. Pretty cool. Thanks for joining me in my blanket fort today. Isn't it cool how some carefully timed sound effects can bring our audio narratives to life? Now that we've covered the basics, it's your turn. First, think of a story. Then, write a few lines down. Go through, identify some sound effects, and then build a blanket fort. Pretty soon, you'll be ready to take your audience on quite the adventure. Whoosh!